Well, obviously, the University of Toledo women's basketball team is definitely off to a great start, and they've had a lot of momentum. And joining me right now is head coach Tricia Cullop. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So, you guys are fresh off of returning from Florida. So, give me an idea of how that experience went.
Well, it was great. We had a chance to play two quality opponents. We took Penn State to the wire, lost in the last few seconds on a foul call that put one of their players at the free throw line. We lost by one, but I was really, really proud of our players' effort, their composure. I didn't think we shot the ball particularly well, but we played great defense to hang in there and take a Big Ten opponent to the wire. And that's all I can ask. I know this team can shoot it better, and we're going to improve. And I think we showed that the very next day when we played UT Arlington. We had a chance to take over that game, and Sammy McConowitz had one of her best performances ever in a Rocket uniform. Kier Goss did as well, and then Quenisha Lockett moved into ninth on the scoring list of all-time scorers at the University of Toledo. So just really, really proud of this group. We would have liked to have come back 2-0 on this trip. But we're still glad to at least grabbed one and played another opponent. If you don't win, you at least want to learn. And we learned a lot about ourselves.
And one thing I've learned about your team is that you clearly have just a burning passion for your team. You want your players to do well. And it's also evident on social media that you are just awfully proud of your team.
You know what? They're great people. In addition to being talented basketball players, they're wonderful people. They're good teammates, good leaders. They're fun to be around. It's a joy to go to work every day to be around this group, not only my players, but my coaching staff.
And what were some goals that you had last year when we talked, and would you say you've achieved them so far?
Well, last year, I thought we hit almost every goal we had. We went 29-6. We went 19-1 in league play, which was a league record. We had one of our highest GPAs we've ever had in a 3.58. So proud of that. We graduated to two players, and I'm very, very proud of them. But the one that we fell short, we went to the Elite Eight of the NIT, but we would have loved to have been in the NCAA tournament. And one thing that was kind of standing in our way was a more difficult schedule. And so we really took that to heart. And in the offseason, worked extremely hard to try to capture some games with the flexibility we had in our schedule. And so getting a chance to land a Duke game at home, and have a chance to beef up our schedule going to Michigan, having Penn State at this last tournament. This is one of our most ambitious schedules. And so far we're 4-2. We've still got some games ahead of us. We actually leave again tomorrow to head out east to play Loyola, and then return home. And we've got, I think, Dayton and Michigan right after that. But we're excited because we want to keep testing ourselves, and we want to prove to the committee that we do deserve to be in.
And the University of Toledo athletic department is under new leadership, and you guys have obviously have a lot going on. I mean, even from football to basketball. So what has that been like, having that transition be made?
Well, first of all, Brian's great. Brian Blair's our new athletic director. And, I would be remiss if I didn't say I'm so grateful to Mike O'Brien. I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for him. I got a text from him actually last night on our way home, just saying congratulations on our win. But Brian Blair took over, and he's been fantastic. One thing that I love is he's very passionate about women's basketball, and that's music to my ears. He's got a young daughter, and obviously he's thinking about those things as he's raising her. But I love the fact his attention to detail and trying to help us do some different things. And obviously this is early stages of him being here, but I'm really impressed with what I see so far. He's a very genuine person, very caring, but also has some great ideas for the future of our athletic department.
For sure. And on top of the support that you're receiving from leadership, you also have plenty of fans out there. I even know a few people that have been attending some of those games. So to have all that fan support, why is it important?
Well, we've been top 30 in the country in attendance 9 out of the last 10 years. And it's an incredible environment. I think speaking with some of the Duke assistants after the game, I think they were a little bit surprised that the crowd was as big as it was. We weren't. I didn't know. I knew it'd be a good crowd. I didn't know how good, but I knew it'd be a great crowd because our community always responds. And you think about top 30. There's like 340 some Division I schools in the country. When you think about top 30, that means we're actually leading a lot of BCS schools in attendance. And when you looked at that, if you took a look at that list, you'd be surprised with who we are above in our average attendance. So that home court advantage that they help provide is a big reason why we've won a lot of basketball games. That's kind of our sixth man. But heck, down even in Florida, the event operator of this tournament said, I've never had more than, say, 60 people on a pass list. And we laughed because we had over 70. And he said, man, that's the best crowd we've ever had. And you got to think about that. There were two Big Ten schools in this tournament, and yet our Toledo fans are just amazing. They traveled down and they were loud and they were excited. They were on their feet a lot of the games.
And obviously, like you said, those fans are so passionate. So what's next? How can fans get even more involved?
Well, we'd love, if you haven't got season tickets, we'd love for people to purchase them. You can get on our UT Rockets website and purchase those. Also, we'd love to see some away games. Our game against Michigan is coming up. And obviously, you and I both know that's not a far trip. It's just want to make sure I tell you the right day, Thursday, December 8th. But we've got some big home games coming up, too, for people that love those in-state rivalries. We play Dayton on the 11th, but our next home game is the 4th. We play Missouri State. So, we're really, really excited about the games that are coming up. Missouri State and Dayton were two teams that went to the NCAA tournament last year. Honestly, I thought those two losses probably kept us out because when the committee was comparing, who won what games, they probably had us, I'm envisioning them having us both up on the wall and saying, well, they beat Toledo. And so we want to make sure that when we have a chance to face these teams again, that we can have a much better performance.
And we know a thing or two about rivalries. If you were following the rivalry game yesterday, that's a whole nother story. We're not going to talk about that. But UT Rocket women's head basketball coach Tricia Cullop, thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thanks for having me. Big fan of yours.
I appreciate it.